I loved my wife more than I ever thought possible. She was my peace after years of chaos, my calm in every storm. When we got married, I promised myself I'd never let her feel unloved or unappreciated. Every morning, I'd bring her coffee just the way she liked it, 2 spoons of sugar and a hint of cinnamon. We'd laugh about small things, plan our future, and talk about traveling the world together. I truly believed we had something unbreakable. One Saturday morning, we decided to drive out of town to visit her cousin. It was a bright, peaceful day, and the highway stretched endlessly under the sun. She sat beside me, humming softly to the music playing on the radio. I remember thinking, this is happiness. But little did I know that the very same car ride would change everything I thought I knew about her. About an hour into the drive, her phone kept buzzing. I noticed her screen lighting up several times, but she ignored it. Normally, she would casually check her phone or reply, but that day, she looked tense. Her fingers tapped nervously on her lap, and she tried to keep the screen tilted away from me. Something in my gut told me something wasn't right, but I didn't want to seem controlling. After a few more minutes, the phone rang again. She grabbed it quickly, her voice soft but rushed. "Hey, I can't talk right now. Yeah, I'm with him." The tone of her voice, it wasn't how she spoke to family or friends. It was too personal, too familiar. My hands tightened on the steering wheel. I tried to focus on the road, pretending not to hear, but every word echoed like thunder in my chest. When she hung up, I calmly asked, "Who was that?" She froze for a second, then smiled nervously. "Just a friend from work," she said, her tone light but forced. I nodded, though inside, I felt something dark begin to rise. "You seem nervous," I said quietly. She laughed it off, saying she was just tired. But I could tell she was lying. We stopped at a small gas station to refuel, and when she went inside to grab a drink, I noticed her phone left on the seat. I hesitated for a long time before picking it up. I wasn't the kind of man who invaded privacy, but that day, my instincts screamed louder than my morals. I opened the messages, and what I saw made my heart sink. There were texts from a man named Ray. Messages filled with words no married woman should be sharing with anyone but her husband. The messages spoke of late-night calls, secret lunches, and plans that never included me. My stomach twisted as I realized the woman I trusted completely had been living a double life. When she returned to the car, she noticed my face instantly. "What's wrong?" she asked, pretending not to know. I handed her the phone without a word. Her expression fell, the color draining from her face. She tried to explain, saying it wasn't serious, that she just needed attention. I couldn't even process her words. I stared at her, the same woman I once called my world, and all I could feel was emptiness. "So this is what our love meant to you?" I asked quietly. She looked away, tears filling her eyes. "I didn't mean to hurt you," she whispered. But the damage was already done. The rest of the ride was silent. I couldn't even look at her. Every familiar song on the radio now felt like a cruel reminder of what we had lost. When we finally reached home, she tried to talk, but I walked straight to the bedroom, packed a small bag, and left for my brother's house. That night, I stared at the ceiling, wondering how a single moment of truth could destroy years of trust. Over the next few days, she texted and called, apologizing again and again. She said she'd end everything with that man and begged for another chance. But the thing about trust is, once it's broken, love alone can't fix it. I told her I needed time, but deep down, I knew we'd never be the same. Friends told me to forgive her, to try to rebuild what we had. But every time I closed my eyes, I saw that phone, those messages, and the way she said, "I'm with him." It played over and over in my mind like a nightmare that wouldn't end. Months passed, and she kept trying to make things right. But I couldn't go back to pretending. The laughter, the warmth, the little inside jokes, they all felt like memories from someone else's life. Eventually, we decided to part ways. She cried when I left, and so did I, but it was the kind of crying that comes when something truly ends. Now, years later, I sometimes drive that same road again. The same trees, the same sunlight, but the car feels emptier. I learned something that day. Love is precious, but trust is sacred. You can forgive betrayal, maybe even understand it, but you can never forget the moment it broke your heart. And no matter how much I once loved her, the truth remains, I loved her deeply, but one day, in that car, she broke something that could never be repaired.